Live a life of victory. Watch God is Good TV.
So this is how you go. I understand. This is how you move, right? Go. So this is how Johnny is moving. We can fix it. We can fix your legs.
Yeah.
Oh, good job, baby. Good job, baby.
Dear friends, this is Stan and Lana, the founders and senior leaders of Jesus Unlimited. Today, we would like to share the story of a little boy from India who lives in one of our children's homes. His name is Johnny, and his story is truly heartbreaking. One of his knees cannot bend, and the other cannot straighten. No, he never fell, and he never broke any bones. His fragile life was damaged before it even began. While still in his mother's womb, something went terribly wrong, and Johnny was born with severely twisted legs. A human life begins with the love of two people, or at least it should. No one knows exactly how Johnny's life began, but one thing is certain. Right after his birth, the person closest to him, his own mother, completely rejected him. Why? Johnny himself. That was the reason a young woman left her family and permanently lost her tiny son. And when the boy was only a few months old, his father either died, disappeared, or was hit by a car. No one really knows. Not only parents dream of a child's birth in India, but grandparents and the entire extended family as well. Prayers are offered to silent idols, begging for a boy to be born, and never a girl. Who needs girls? You raise them, invest years into them, and in the end, everything benefits another family. A daughter marries, leaves, and her parents must give a dowry that took a lifetime to collect. But a boy is more than joy. It is considered a great blessing. Giving birth to a son is an honor for an Indian woman. Society respects her because she has fulfilled her duty to her family. Her life now has value because she has produced a son. She will not live with shame or guilt. She knows whom she will live for and nurture. But cruel reality shattered that dream beyond recognition. The family experienced anger, pain, and horror, but no one will ever know what the helpless baby endured while his very life was at stake. From the first minute of his life, Johnny's future was surrounded by impossible questions with no clear answers. The child was meant to grow strong and handsome, but he was born disabled. He was supposed to support his parents in old age, but from his first breath, he became a burden. So many hopes were placed on him, but suddenly he was seen as a problem, an obstacle, a heavy weight. What should they do? How should they go on? It would have been better if a useless girl had been born than a crippled boy, they thought. The gods had fallen asleep and failed to answer the family's prayers. They mourned the baby as if he were already dead and decided to get rid of him. Better to abandon him now, they reasoned, since his life would only be suffering. Why torment themselves and torture the child? The past could never be fixed. But someone took pity on the unwanted baby and brought him to a Christian children's home run by an Indian pastor. That was where a new chapter of his life began. No one knew if Johnny would ever walk. No one knew how many surgeries he would need, or whether his life could ever be like that of healthy children. But one thing was clear. Johnny needed the love and care he had lost the moment he was born. The children loved the little boy, and the pastor's family accepted him as their own. Johnny smiled, cooed, learned his first words, but he still could not stand or walk. 2 years passed like this. He grew up among the other children, and understandably, more prayers were offered for him than for the rest. Then trials came, ones Johnny himself will never remember. The children's home lost its funding. As strange as it sounds, even an orphanage can lose its home. Once again, the children were robbed of childhood. 42 children and the pastor's family were forced to move into a rented house with only one room. 24 girls slept inside. Of course, there were no beds. Sleeping on the floor allowed more people to fit. Crowded and unbearably hot? Absolutely. In India, roofs are flat. The remaining 18 boys slept on the roof, covered with dry palm leaves to form a makeshift shelter. But the leaves could not protect them from malaria-carrying mosquitoes and barely shielded them from rain. Poor and desperate? Without question. There wasn't even money for a gas cylinder to cook food. Meals were prepared on a crude outdoor stove made from bricks and clay. Dry branches, firewood, paper, anything that could burn was used. And thank God there were many stray cows nearby, because dried cow dung is commonly used as fuel in India. Local Christians brought rice and vegetables so the children would not starve. Before school, each child received a small mound of rice and a few spoonfuls of vegetable gravy. Only the pastor's wife knew exactly how much water to add, so the food would be enough for all the hungry children. The same meager meal awaited them again at 8 in the evening. Lunch? There was no lunch. Nothing at all. There was also only one bathroom. The old washing machine broke down. The water pump that supplied the house burned out. When neighbors' rooftop tanks overflowed, the children placed buckets and carried water home, and there was barely enough food to feed everyone. Do you remember that at that time, the pastor's family was caring for 42 children? This went on for months. Months of fear that some of the children would end up back on the streets, begging, joining gangs, or falling again into sexual exploitation. Months of hunger and desperate prayers for deliverance. That was when we met this children's home and little Johnny. We rented a spacious house for all 42 children, paid the rent, and provided a security deposit for many months ahead. The children regained hope for the future, and the pastor and his wife overflowed with gratitude to God. But one thought would not leave us. Johnny, what will happen to him when he is 14? When he is 20? Will he be able to live a full life? What can we personally do to change his future? We knew that if this were our own child, we would seek doctors and do everything possible to help him walk. What is the price of legs for little Johnny? The first surgery cost about $1,000. His left hip and right knee were operated on, and metal plates were inserted. After this major surgery, his body was placed in a cast from the chest down. Recovery was difficult, not only for Johnny, but for everyone caring for him. Instead of soft baby clothes, he wore a rigid plaster brace. His lower body could not bend, so the pastor had to carry him with outstretched arms through hospitals, trains, buses, and back to the children's home. The endless journey exhausted them both. Johnny cried in pain. It was hot, uncomfortable, and overwhelming. The first surgery brought progress. The second surgery placed an Elizarov frame around his legs, extending the recovery process for many long months. Please pray for the doctors and for Johnny's full recovery. Johnny was fortunate to end up in a Christian children's home. But hundreds of thousands of children like him still struggle to survive on the streets of India.
So here we have Johnny, and this guy needs new legs. And you know what, guys? We can buy him new legs. What do you think about this? Look at him. He's a handsome young man and he has a great future. But unfortunately, something happened with his legs from the birth, right? That's not your fault, just like that. But we can buy new legs for him, guys.
So one leg cannot be straight and another leg cannot be bent.
Yes.
So it's like this. But we believe that Johnny will not only walk, but he will be able to run.
Yes.
Johnny, run! In Jesus' name. Johnny! Johnny, look at me! Johnny!
Join us in transforming lives. Partner with us at JesusUnlimited.org.